try to be a person of my word. So we're going to get started. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Community Enhancement Program grant presentations. And to begin with, I'm going to have our communication team give a little staff briefing about how we are going to proceed tonight. Hello, Joyce.
Thank you, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Joyce Phillips. I'm the Communications and Program Assistant here for the City of Forest Grove. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for our Community Enhancement Program grant meeting. We will award 4 grants for $20,000, and we are excited this year that we had 16 applications. All pertinent information was provided in the staff report, which I included in the packet that's on your desk in front of you. Each applicant will have 4 minutes to present and 1 minute for questions. Also, please write your name at the top of the score sheet, as Mariah will be collecting them at the end of the meeting. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
I have a question. Joyce, do all the applicants meet the criteria?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so none are for profit, none are...
They're all nonprofit.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any further questions for Joyce? Okay, seeing none.
Well, then I will hand it back
Yeah, okay.
to the chair.
Mariah, will you should we take roll in a little bit? How should we do roll? Let's take roll.
Let's do it. Committee Member Gustafson?
Did you say me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Committee Member Valenzuela? Committee Member Nunez? Here. Committee Member Schimmel? Here. Co-Chair Wenzel?
Co-chair me. Sorry, I was reading something. Here. My bad. My bad.
Committee Member Falconer? Here. Committee Member... Salgado?
Delgado. Yeah.
Committee Member Marshall?
Here.
Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm just going to ask the committee. Would you guys like to rotate asking questions? Would you like me to ask all the questions so you can listen and score? Have me ask all of them? I see that from the side. Do any of you want to ask questions? No?
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. I know many of us have overlapping roles with the nonprofits, the schools, universities, and I always recuse myself when it has anything to do with finance regarding the City Club, Downtown Association, or the Alliance. So I'll be recusing myself from this entire thing. I just want to make sure that we all understand that this happens, and it kind of looks like it's happening today. So I didn't know, Mayor, if you already had like a plan knowing this, or...
Well, usually we'll just ask for recusal, so you're going to recuse yourself from the whole process. Is there anyone else that would like to recuse themselves or say a potential conflict? Okay. Do you think, so in the past you are a professor at Pacific, and this is an application for a longhouse with their Indigenous student group. So if you don't think your position as a professor is a conflict, that you think you can still be unbiased and there's no potential gain, then you don't have to recuse yourself. You can say like, hey, I want for the record to say this. That's my understanding, Jesse. Is that accurate or not accurate?
Yeah, there's 2 types of conflicts: a perceived conflict and then an actual conflict. An actual conflict is if you stand to receive any financial gain. Oh, yeah.
Point of clarification, is it perceived and actual or potential and actual?
That I'm not sure of. Yeah, sorry if I don't have the answer to that one. But an actual is generally, and the Oregon Government Ethics Commission is the ultimate arbiter of whether or not it's a conflict, and if so, what type of conflict. But a potential would be a perceived conflict would be one in which you would not have a potential financial gain or an actual financial gain or the prevention of a financial detriment. An actual conflict would be is if you stand to, by the virtue of your position, gain financial remuneration. In this case, if it would be financial remuneration from the grant. And if so, then that again, the Oregon Government Ethics Commission is the final arbiter, but generally speaking, that's been interpreted as an actual conflict.
That clear it up? Not clear it up.
I do understand. I'm just really concerned about it.
So Councillor Falconer, did you want to state what you were?
Well, I just wondered if we might treat this similar to the way we would a land use hearing, where I think, we could ask the committee if there were any objections to someone, and we could have a conversation about it.
Yeah, is there any way in which the committee would like to move forward? So we can either disclose potential conflicts and then state if we're going to recuse or not recuse, or we could say, does anyone on the committee have concerns? Is there,
I would like to know it.
Councillor Gustafson?
I don't have any concerns with any of you at all, because there is so much overlap here. And for you to be completely honest and biased, I have to trust everybody, right? That's how we work, for you to be objective. At the same time, with every instance, I have been asked, is this a conflict, and asked to recuse. And I do during financial decisions, even though it is not a conflict of interest. My concern with others is throughout my conversations with the ethics department, if you work for that organization or are paid in any capacity to that organization, that is a potential impact to your income because you are connected to that organization. When they do well because of money, you do well because of money. Take this, for whatever you feel. This is just what I have read, and I am still making the choice to recuse myself, as I have with every other time when there was money involved.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I would just add a clarification that nonprofits of size that are of significant size have multiple independent contracts that pay for their particular departments. So it's not as a simple matter as described. For example, I do work for Centro, but it's under a federal contract. It has no relationship with any other department or fund within that organization. So I'm acknowledging my affiliation, but also that it's a part of an independent federal contract, not the Central General Fund.
Okay, anyone else? Yeah. I don't see the Forest Grove School District on there, so I don't think, okay. Perfect, so let's get started. Are we good with me asking all three questions? I don't see Juan Carlos. I was gonna switch off with Councilor Gonzalez, but he's not
It'll
here.
be simpler.
It's just simpler. Okay, so can I please have the Forest Grove Youth and Senior Bowling presentation, please? And then are we gonna set, I think, a 4-minute, yeah, perfect. Good evening, thank you for coming today. Thanks for applying.
Thank you for having me. My name is Alan Clark. I am the president of Forest Grove Youth Bowling. I appreciate the committee having me and listening to what we have to say. So our goal at Forest Grove Youth Bowling is to expand our existing program to have more significant reach. We currently have a bowling program in our community for our youth, and our community is underserved for both youth and seniors. We feel as though we can expand and create a greater reach and more impact within the community. Bowling is a healthy, low impact full body workout. It improves your physical fitness, mental well-being, and it enhances your cardiovascular health, builds muscle strength, and improves balance, flexibility, and hand-eye coordination. The social aspect is also great because it has mental health benefits, it reduces stress, and it encourages social interactions. Bowling is more than just a pastime. It's a way to bring people together in our community. We have seniors in our community seeking connection and youth in our community looking for positive activities. A community bowling program can bring it all together in one friendly, accessible location. Too many in our community face isolation and the lack or the lack of affordable, inclusive recreation, seniors often struggle to stay active and socially engaged. Youth need safe, structured places to build confidence and learn teamwork. The community often struggles to bond as one. Bowling can offer all three, regardless of your age, ability, or income. Our vision provides for free or low-cost bowling for seniors and youth. We desire to offer mentorships and intergenerational activities, youth learning from seniors, seniors engaging with youth, seniors and youth alike, creating new bonds and friendships. It will all encourage more social interactions outside of bowling and just help our community. For a lot of families, whether we're talking about youth or seniors, money is a barrier to entry. Also, a lot of senior citizens, transportation is an issue. With this support, we hope to be able to provide transportation for regular bowling events and be able to partner with another nonprofit similar to Ride Connection to be able to offer that on a regular basis. We also hope with both groups that we can get trained coaches who are trained and certified to come and teach bowling, help with the social interaction. Those coaches put a lot of time and effort into their training, so it's very hard to get them to commit without obviously, in-kind respect and paying for their time as well. Our community is underserved and lacks the structure for both of these groups during the fall, winter, and spring when it's colder, darker, and wetter outside, and this would be the imperfect way to engage with them. Your support will help us offset the cost of transportation, pay trained and certified coaches, and pay for the cost of the activity itself. I hope you'll join us in making every frame a step forward towards community connection.
Great, thank you. There's a minute left. Does anyone have a follow-up question? I don't think I have to ask the score. Do you guys want me to ask my staff?
I think I'm a little confused about the process. If you don't mind, I don't want to take up the minute of the time. Though, so.
I pause. So my understanding is this is the goal of the awards, and so as we're listening to the presentation, we score.
And I didn't realize that you were intending to ask those questions of each of us.
No, I'm not going to.
Or of the body,
No.
or of the
No,
applicant.
no, that's what I was wondering if you guys wanted me to follow up with any of these questions on there. But I think we're good. Sorry, sir.
No worries.
Any questions from the committee?
How many people will this help?
It's hard to quantify until we start promoting it, but I can definitely see this, engaging. We run a Kids Bowl free program during the summer, which typically every summer engages about 350 youth in the community. So I could very easily see 350 youth being easily targeted, but I think it would grow because during the summer, a lot of activities are outside activities. And during the winter, a lot of families will be looking for other activities as well, which still doesn't even account for, getting seniors involved as well.
Okay. Council President Valenzuela.
Yes. How do you
Our outreach would be multifaceted. We would use social media. That's a lot of places. Obviously, assumably, a lot of senior citizens don't use social media, but we have relationships with a lot of other businesses and organizations in the community to advertise at places like the Senior Center or up and down Main Street. A lot of those businesses let us put flyers out for our youth programs and things like that, which draw in a lot of people as well. School district as well, yes. The school district would also be a great place to organize that as well, yes.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Our next presenter is the Forest Grove Swim Club.
Hi there. My name's Stephanie Mongar, and I am part of the Forest Grove Swim Club, as well as an assistant coach for the Forest Grove High School swim team. And I have worked for 15 years teaching swim lessons and being a lifeguard at the Forest Grove Aquatic Center.
My name is Zoe, and I am one of the members of the Forest Grove Swim Committee. I'm also a member from the Forest Grove Swim Committee. My name is Caitlin.
We are proposing to replace our current lane lines at the pool It's a strategic decision aimed at enhancing the aesthetic appeal and safety of our facility. New lane lines will not only provide a refreshed and modern look, it also improves the overall experience for our swimmers and visitors at the Forest Grove Aquatic Center. Upgrading these fixtures demonstrates our commitment to maintaining a high standard of quality and safety, ensuring an optimal environment for training and recreation. These funds would purchase new lane lines, which is a valuable opportunity for our team to address the current infrastructure without incurring additional financial strain. Our team during COVID really took a hit and we lost a lot of swimmers, and we have worked really hard to regain our attendance and team. We now have swimmers from Hillsborough, Yamhill, and Banks joining our team. And so we want to keep that going. So we need to provide equipment that is safe. These lane lines benefit all the teams, the swim club, the high school, and Pacific University all use these lane lines, as well as the Forest Grove Aquatic Center programming during adult and senior lap swim, the Aquatic Center classes, and swim lessons. We also have many pool events that happen throughout the year, as well as 3 swim teams host all of their swim meets there, and the Dragon Dash, which is a community event that has happened for 2 years now. This promotes the sustainability of our team as we continue to have lane lines that are more than 15 years old since before I started working there. They are cracked, have jagged edges and fraying cables, and maintenance has to keep coming and fixing them because they're unsafe for people to touch. It is a huge strain on all of the businesses to provide these, as they cost about $5,000. By not having to purchase lane lines ourselves, we can continue to provide equitable access by offering scholarships to families in need through our programs. We gave a survey at our last swim meet to families that attended. 60% of the 25-26 pentathlon meet attendees have never been to one of our meets before, and 93% that they eat locally in Forest Grove, Pizza Smicha, Talbot Coffee, and we estimate they bring about $2,000 worth of revenue to Forest Grove through our swim meets. We want to promote community growth that strengthens the relationship between the swim club and the aquatic center and fosters a sense of belonging and shared purpose. This promotes community and health and fitness. Events like our Dragon Dash mini triathlon brings individuals together through diverse ages and abilities and highlights inclusivity and community spirit.
Overall, this project embodies the values of sustainability, safety, connectivity, economic vitality, community development, health, activity, and inclusiveness.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Councilor Schimmel.
Does the swim club own these lane lines or the city?
It would technically be the swim club would be in charge of maintaining them and keeping track of them, but we've always shared lane lines, so they would be the set used for all of the programs. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure. Jesse, who owns the current swim lane lines?
Oh, I can tell you that answer. Currently, we each started by buying 2. So Pacific bought 2, the Aquatic Center bought 2, and then the Dragons bought 2. So they're all different kinds, different. And so they've just been there forever.
Yeah, I guess a general question is whose responsibility are those lane lines?
We can discuss that in discussion.
I'd have to refer to Director Ann Lane and get back to you on that.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Adelante Mujeres, please.
Any of the committee members who have the wireless mics, if you could just flip those on. They're not currently on.
Yeah.
The red light means they're on, correct?
Yours is
Parents' mic?
This one?
Yeah. The wireless. Should we flip on Juan Carlos? I don't know if I think he's coming. I don't know if he is. Okay, sorry. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bailey Matlock, and I'm the grants manager at Adelante Mujeres.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabby Grusi. I'm a grants officer at Adelante Mujeres, and I am here to talk about our proposal for the Forest Grove Farmers Market Waste Center. Some of you may know we're just up the street on Main. Our building has those beautiful butterflies in the front, which represent our community, the wonderful immigrant Latina community. And we've been serving this community since 2002. And we want to talk about our Forest Grove Farmers Market Center, Forest Grove Farmers Market Waste Center. This waste center serves as a self-service waste management station. It is equipped with recycling bins and brochures, informational brochures for our community if they're interested in learning about environmental awareness. And our proposal is that we want to really enhance and develop the waste center so that it's an integral part of the farmers market and also serves as a community space for education in terms of waste management and reducing waste from reaching our landfills. We, at this time, currently in the given market season, are seeing about 90,000 visitors, and we fully expect that number to grow, specifically because we are seeing funding cuts to food access programs such as SNAP, and Adelante provides food access programming. In one example are fresh food vouchers, where our community can come shop at the farmers market at a reduced price. So we fully expect this number of visitors to grow, and we understand that with this growth comes more generated market waste. And we want to start tackling that waste now before it becomes a larger issue in the future for our community and the environment. On market days, we're already seeing a vast amount of waste. And so we propose that if our staff receives professional development opportunities, like receiving a master recycler certification, they would be able to educate the community and become experts in this area as well. We would like to collaborate with local, environmental, culturally responsive educators to come teach workshops on market days that really bring in our community to learn more about environmental awareness. We also want to be really intentional about the way we advertise and promote the Waste Center so that it is an integral part and not an overlooked aspect of the market. And eventually we would like to be able to evaluate the changes that we've made so that we can continue improving and developing the Waste Center. Ultimately, why we want to do this, as I mentioned, is we want to tackle this issue now. We want it to become a sustainable practice of our community, not just during market days, but to carry onto our personal lives. We view this project as supporting not just the environment, but the Forest Grove community. If we collectively come together to start protecting the environment and our effect on climate, then we see that as a plus. As supporting our community who may not always have access to this type of education, we are really interested in just enhancing and developing this waste center, so everyone is welcome to come and learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? I don't see any questions. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Pacific University. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity for us to share about a project that is very dear to Pacific University, and we believe also to Forest Grove. My name is Erica Andry. I'm the Associate Director of Development for Grants I'm joined this evening by my colleague Nicole Rubido, who is the University Registrar and also the faculty advisor to our Indigenous Student Alliance. Together, we're really honored to share the vision of Pacific's Longhouse Project, a community gathering space inspired by Indigenous longhouse design. So the vision that we have for the Longhouse will be a space for storytelling, for cultural exchange, for ceremony, and intercultural learning, a place that strengthens community connections and acknowledges the Indigenous peoples of this region. This project grows from a shared vision for belonging and inclusion that resonates throughout Forest Grove.
When the Indigenous Student Alliance formed at Pacific in 2022, the students came forward with a goal. Two goals were the main things that they listed. The first is to hold a powwow. I am very happy to say that we have had a powwow every year for the past 2 years. Over the past 2 years, we have spoken with and made partnerships and collaborations with not only the tribal partners in the area. We have shown the students, faculty, and community leaders that the second goal the students want, the Longhouse, is an actual need that will serve everyone in the community as well as the broader tribal communities and the Indigenous people who are in this region. Through listening sessions and open dialogue, we've asked what belonging and representation looks like to these communities. The answer has been clear. More than construction of a building, this project is about relationship and representation, learning and sharing community and heritage. It's a space where students who, if they are Indigenous, do not feel invisible. And we're talking about the broad range of Indigenous people who live in this area. It's a space where we can share and honor the voices and traditions that shape our community and create a space where everyone feels seen and welcome, not only feels, they are. And this is what we long to do with Indigenous Student Alliance, is bring everyone into this space.
So we've shared with you the conceptual drawings that were developed by Akana, an Indigenous-owned architectural firm. Those were completed with donor and university funding. A grant from the Forest Grove Community Enhancement Program would support the creation of detailed construction documents. It would take this project from concept to build ready. It would also be a really strong demonstration of local commitment to this project that helps us to attract future funding from other organizations such as the Spirit Mountain Community Fund, from the Roundhouse Foundation, from Murdoch and Meyer Memorial Trust, for example. This is an ambitious project. We anticipate the total cost of building this longhouse will be about $2.2 million. $20,000 from this committee is a drop in the bucket in the total project, but it is an extraordinarily important symbolic gesture that this community stands behind the need for Indigenous representation and community gathering space.
When completed, the Longhouse will stand as a symbol of belonging, cultural revitalization, community partnership, as we've talked about. It's going to be a space where all of the community members in Forest Grove, the Pacific students, faculty, alumni, of which there are many, and all of our regional partners can gather for cultural events, workshops, and shared celebrations, which we currently invite all citizens to join with us at Pacific. We invite the elderly, we invite the local school districts to come and learn from us right now. This will serve as an intentional place to do all that in. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? And I just want to welcome co-chair Councilor Gonzalez he apologized for being a little bit late. We just had some miscommunication about the time.
Yeah,
But-
sorry about that.
Okay, Counselor Schimmel.
I'd be curious if you can describe the relationship between our regular land acknowledgements and this longhouse.
How much time do we have? When you're talking about the land acknowledgement that the city of Forest Grove offers, we consider land acknowledgements not just something that's written down somewhere that people can look at or that you wrote at meetings. Land acknowledgement is actually action. And this longhouse is how Pacific University is taking that action.
Great. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
Family Peace Center.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening, Rachel.
Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Sorry about that. I'm here on behalf of the Family Peace Center of Washington County, which will open in January of 2026. Most of you know us as the Family Justice Center, but we will be making that change over. And we are applying to the City of Hillsborough grant program for the support of our expansion and outreach into Forest Grove for the Family Peace Center. We applied for this grant in connection to improving community safety and connection. You have all heard me say this a few times, but unfortunately the reality in Oregon is that domestic and sexual violence are higher than the national average. Domestic violence at 42%, sexual violence at 54%, and we are expanding to include a host of services for children that are impacted by child abuse, of which in Washington County there were 8,900 cases in 2023 alone. So the Family Peace Center of Washington County is going to be a groundbreaking center that will ultimately end up being the first in the nation to provide all of the services that our community is coming together in order to offer holistically under one much larger roof than we have now. And that will include 22 agencies, including CARES Northwest, Providence Forensic Clinic for adult forensic medical examinations, our friends at Adelante Mujeres, who will be opening a therapeutic preschool along with their programming, DVRC, the district attorney, and many more. This will create a center that will offer services for survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and now child abuse, and all of the healing programs that go along with not just the intervention of that violence, but the healing from it and the prevention of it into future generations. We hope that the Family Peace Center will be one that breaks the cycle of violence permanently. So funds from this grant would support service navigation for individuals coming to the Family Peace Center and supporting those coming from the city of Forest Grove. And in particular, we are asking for the support of peer outreach for the city and also outreach materials. It's a goal of ours to always make sure that no matter where the Family Peace Center is located, that all of our communities can have access to us, along with, in particular, our more rural communities. And so we estimate that the number of services, the number of people coming from Forest Grove will be between 180 and 200, although it's hard to anticipate because many of these services haven't been in Washington County before. So all of CARES Northwest child abuse cases will run through Washington County, same with Providence. And so we think that that's about what we will serve, but they very well could be more. And also, overall, roughly the cost of providing services per survivor is about $141. So at that number of individuals served, that's between $25,000 and $28,000 for those services. So it fits nicely within this requested grant amount. I will yield the rest of the time for any questions you may have.
Okay, questions? I have one question. How many other municipalities contribute financially to the Family Peace Center?
That's a great question. All cities in Washington County contribute,
Except ours.
except yours.
Councilor Faulkner.
I have a question about, it wasn't really clear to me, and so I'm hoping you can maybe give me a direct answer if possible. The grant request is for, I heard outreach to rural communities, and I guess my question is this a request for outreach materials to Forest Grove?
Yes, I'm sorry if I made that unclear. Yes, it would be outreach to the city of Forest Grove and residents within it, so specific materials, and then also having folks that could come out here and do that outreach, but then also staffing for the navigation services at the Family Peace Center.
Okay, so the money would be specifically geared toward only Forest Grove outreach. Thank you.
Any other questions? So we're out of time. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gigi's house. Oh, thank you.
Did anything like this. Anyway, do I wait or do
No,
I
you
go?
can start whenever you'd
Go.
like.
Okay,
Thank you.
So me and my husband started 10 years ago in our garage to help people. We moved to Forest Grove right before COVID, and then the food banks, everything shut down. So then we started a food bank. We still have a food bank. We help we feed a lot of people. And then the clothes bank, we did that. But my passion has been this that I wanted to do. I don't want to just help people, give them things. I want them to get a hand up. So why I want money is so that way we can teach them how to sew. I want our homeless people or whoever wants to come in and make blankets so we can give it to the senior citizen people, at the nursing home. I also want to teach them how to make laundry soap. They're going to make it, but we'll supply it so that way they can have something to do. I also want to have gardens. It doesn't matter where a person lives. It doesn't matter if they're homeless, if they live in a nursing home or whatever. We can teach them how to garden so they can take it with them. If they're homeless, I want to because we're now right by Scotty's. Anyway, I want to get boxes put up so that way we can have a garden there for our homeless people. And they will work, because they already are working in our backyard and stuff like that. Because I believe if you give them a man a fish, they eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, they know how to fish. And I think what's missing, in my opinion, and I only speak for myself, is communication and family and just feeling needed. The loneliness from all ages, from teenagers to seniors to homeless. So if we had programs at Gigi's house where everyone can come in and learn from each other and encourage each other, because it does work. We have a guy who works at Gigi's house who is homeless, who comes every single day. We feed over 500 people a month in lunches. He packs it. What did he used to do? Not good stuff. There was a woman that was homeless. She used to fly a sign all the time. I said, why are you doing that? Asking for money. Do something. So she made wreaths. She got off the streets. She's still doing crafts. So I believe if we invest in people, that's our foundation. And our foundation is everywhere. And I don't know if y'all know this, but we're growing. There's people coming from all over. And if we can just get them and let them know that we're here for them and they matter. No matter if they're in a nursing home, in a school, don't have a house, that we're there for them. That's all I have to say. I don't know if I made it clear, but she wrote the grant.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilor Martinez.
So how do you advertise for your services?
You know what's amazing is we don't have to. It's word of mouth. But we put it on there. We would be on Facebook and then put ads out there, paperwork out there, however that in the newspaper, we would do that. With the schools, we help a lot of the schools. So that way, if there's a program for the kids to come in and get them off their phones and their games and where they can do something, I have a pretty good connection with a lot of the schools that I would give it to the schools and then they can send it home in a newsletter.
So what kind of programs are you doing currently for those that are houseless or in need?
What don't we do? I don't know if it's a program, whatever we find, because we don't get grants. So, and none of our staff is paid. We're all volunteers, but we have a lot of wonderful donors. So we have paid for funerals. It depends on whatever the need is. The police department has called us because they needed something cleaned up. So we do that. You know, we want to teach them how to do job resumes, how to go and get a job. We will sit down with them and teach them how to do that. We're also opening up a part of our store where it's going to be like a secondhand, kind of cheaper than Goodwill, and give job training skills. That's in the future if we get a grant or don't. That's what we're doing. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, and how many people are you currently serving?
Lots. It depends on the month. We give sack lunches to over 500 a month. The schools, it depends on who it is. What a counselor will come in and they need something, hundreds, if not thousands. Sometimes it depends on the month. Depends on the nursing home. It changes. Everything changes to the need.
And how many volunteers do you have working?
Every single day,
Currently?
around 7. It depends on when they can come in. Most of them are homeless people or struggling with something. But I have seen how life turns around for people if you give them something to do. So they can mop, they can take out our garbage, and my time's up. Anything else?
Thank you. Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
for your time.
Thank you. St. Vincent de Paul. Oops, I skipped somebody. I'm sorry. Counselor Schimmel corrected me. I need help all the time. Foodways by Nana Cardoon, and I apologize.
Hi there, thank you.
Nice.
My name is Scott Ray. I'm with Foodways at Nana Cardoon, and I'm here on behalf of Charlene Murdoch, who could not make it. She's studying wheat in France. But yeah, so we would like to ask for a Solar for the Outdoor classroom at Foodways. The Solar for the Outdoor Classroom project at Foodways at Nana Cardoon will transform our outdoor classroom into a visible model of sustainability by pairing solar power with rainwater catchment and UV purification. The system will provide clean, renewable energy, reduce reliance on fossil fuels, and create a self-sufficient off-grid classroom that benefits the whole community. And I'd like to read something from the administrator of Applied Experiential Learning at Pacific University, Stephanie Stokemer. It is my pleasure to write this letter on behalf of Foodways Nana Cardoon as they pursue a community enhancement project grant from Metro. Foodways at Nana Cardoon is well positioned to effectively utilize this funding, and I strongly support their application. Pacific University has a long partnership with Nana Cardoon. We've worked together for many years, particularly by connecting college students to their operation for experiential learning opportunities, such as internships, practicum experiences, and class field trips. In addition, I've worked directly with Nana Cardoon Executive Director Charlene Murdoch on a number of local committees and advisory groups related to food systems. She also recently served as an instructor for Pacific class called Food for Thought and Action. Nana Cardoon consistently provides high-quality, educational, memorable, and expertly facilitated activities for guests at the site, outstanding supervision for students' efforts, and well-reasoned and informed perspectives in committees and the like. Charlene has a way of inspiring deeper student engagement and curiosity, such that over the years, countless students have started out as a field trip guest at Foodways and then gone on to internships or other opportunities. A recent graduate from Pacific did just that, then returned to this community as a graduate student to continue her work around local sustainable agriculture under Charlene's mentorship. As an administrator of applied and experiential learning, I really couldn't ask for a better outcome of our partnership. And I'd also like to add that in 2023, Foodways applied for and received a CEP grant that helped us build the outdoor event structure that we'd like to put the solar panels on. And we thank you for that, because since then, thousands of Forest Grove students and Pacific University students have visited Nanacardoon and have expressed to us their joy in working on the farm and learning about land stewardship. Thanks to the Tualatin Valley Soil and Water Conservation Grant awarded in 2024, 2025, and into 2027, we get to continue this work with students of all ages. Moving forward, each class will include 30 students, our faculty and outdoor educators, and curriculum leads, which averages out to 2,000 plus students that are inspired each year. The solar for the outdoor classroom, which is what we're calling this project, if awarded, will make for a self-sufficient outdoor classroom, enhancing our water purification, dishwashing station, and more cooking power through the solar system. We hope you can see in these pictures, which you should have a handout for, that Foodways at Nanacardoon allows every student to learn the art of farm to table, the art of building soil, conserving water, and gathering at the table in community to share with one another on what it's like to grow your own food and share it with one another. Thank you strongly for considering Foodways at Nanacardoon Solar for the Outdoor Classroom project for this year's CEP Metro Grant. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just, this is kind of, it doesn't really base any decision necessarily. What time of year does the outdoor classroom run? Is it year round?
It's pretty much year round, yeah. I mean, in the darkest winter months, there's a little lull, but other than that, we're always doing something with the land.
Go ahead. Councilor Gonzalez.
Hi, thank you so much for presenting. I'm looking at the budget narrative section, and on contract labor, supplies, capital. I feel like I'm seeing a bit of overlap in the description of what is covered in each section.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit more about why you categorize things in that way?
I believe it's just because due to the amount of in-kind that we are putting up. So there's about 32% of in-kind. So there's just a lot of overlap. The contractor is donating some equipment, and Charlene puts in countless hours essentially towards the organization of the project.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
A little bit. I'm looking at the non-in-kind. There's 3 specific sections. Contract labor, materials and supply, and then capital. Each have their own breakdown.
Right.
And I'm trying to understand, some of them feel like there's an overlap as to what we're paying for, or what you're requesting for. I want to understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, we did reach out to the contractor about that and tried to sort of have them help us understand how they understand capital. But basically, I think we just sort of did the best we could to fill in the spreadsheet the way it was worked out. But it does make sense. It just might need some comprehensive, looking over. But essentially, it's because we're working so closely with the contractor that they are providing their own in-kind as well as our in-kind, as well as donated materials.
Great.
So we'd have to kind of dig into the numbers there, but
yeah, you're good. Thank you. It was it was the description in the section that had me asking more questions, but it makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, it was a tough way to put it into the spreadsheet. Thank you, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is St. Vincent's de Paul.
Good evening. My name is Nina Kaufman, and this is David Wirtz. We're members of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, or SVDP. We are a worldwide Catholic lay organization with local councils and conferences. The Forest Grove Conference started in 1985. Our primary focus is making sure there's food in our pantry to give people in the community who can benefit from receiving assistance. Our organization is run by volunteers. During the past fiscal year, we kept 40 volunteers busy for over 3,500 hours. Around 2018, we started providing utility assistance to Forest Grove families who were at risk of having their water and electricity shut off. In most instances, the reason was because people had an unexpected job loss, unexpected medical emergency, or an unexpected death. In 2025, the annual number of families assisted increased from 15 families to 36 families. It included 99. The cost increase was increased from $6,000 to $15,600. And based on the trend of the last 6 months, we expect this need to continue to increase. If we are fortunate enough to receive the Community Enhancement Grant, we will use the funds to continue providing utility assistance to low-income families in Forest Grove. When clients request utility support, we work with the city, and they help us determine what the need is, if the family has received assistance in the past, and if they've been in their current residence for 12 months or more. We can help a family with utilities once in a 12-month period. Because of the increase in the requests during the past year, we're limiting that help to $600 per household. General operating information, once government support for COVID was discontinued, the amount of food that we distributed increased from about 68 tons to 110 tons of food annually. That's an increase of 62%. The number of households that we served in 2025 increased by 511 households. That's a 26% increase in just 1 year, and it affected 2,400 people. We went from about 8,200 to 10,600 people that we helped. Our funding is comprised of individual, community groups, and private grant donations. On an average, 40% comes from individuals in our local community, and the remaining mix comes from the community groups and grants. In 2025, donations totaled $88,000. We received a few substantial individual donations, which allowed us to continue all of our programs and to meet the additional need. However, in 2026, recognizing that some large individual donations may not recur, our budget has decreased by $25,000. In 2025, our expenses totaled $87,000. 56% went for food, 23% for rent, and 18% for utilities. Our current budget for 2026 expenses totals $86,000. 71% will pay for food, 25% will pay for utilities, and we are hopeful that we can fill our current budget deficit. Again, because we are able to help more families by providing food, our expenditures are focused on ensuring that we do have food in our pantry. Wrapping it up, SBDP has been serving the Forest Grove community for 40 years. Our volunteers, including some clients, all bring different gifts to our outreach program, including picking up food, answering phones and organizing food pickup, sorting and stocking shelves, packing boxes, and listening to clients when they come to pick up food or call for utility support. We do share in the city's values of helping people feel secure and supported, where health is nurtured, and where neighbors truly know and care for each other. Tonight you have so many wonderful organizations here, and we just appreciate the opportunity to present our application to you.
Thank you. Any questions? I don't think, oh, sorry.
I'll ask a question.
Co-chair.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to present today. In looking at your budget, is it fair to assume that every dollar awarded to you will go directly to community assistance, or is there any funding that goes to pay for bit lights or operations of the facilities?
Last year, I think our operation, we have to pay for our own telephone. We pay for office supplies and stuff. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
For our clients. Oh, from the
Yeah,
grant.
yeah,
no.
in the grant, yeah.
no,
in
yeah. Sorry,
in the
I
budget you
misunderstood.
submitted, I don't see like a delineation of where the money would go. So I was wondering if it's like
It would be to
all,
continue our utilities.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
thank you. So it's all going directly to assistance programs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, Friends of Historic Forest Grove.
Good evening.
Good
My
evening.
name's Evelyn Orr, and I'm a member of the Friends of Historic Forest Grove. And thank you for the opportunity to share about a project that's close to my heart, Trails, Tales, People of Our Past, a new program of Friends of Historic Forest Grove. What is it? It's Trails Tales is a mobile, educational, and family-centered program that blends heritage, imagination, and sustainability. Through walking trails at the historic A.T. Smith House, parks, downtown spaces, and community sites, family will encounter enchanted miniature displays. Tiny pioneer cabins, Atfalate-inspired shelters, woodland habitats, and story scenes that celebrate local history and nature. And you'll see some of that over here. We had our first workshops, and you'll even see a longhouse that you've heard about. Each trail invites visitors to explore, learn, and play with interpretive signs and QR codes linking to stories and local heritage. It's part art, part history, part play, and community-driven. At a time when schools and nonprofits are losing enrichment funding, especially for arts and creative play, Trails Tales fills that gap. We bring free or low-cost programming to schools, libraries, and parks and recreation, ensuring that every child and family has access to wonder, creativity, and heritage learning. It's not just about looking at history, it's about touching it, building it, and seeing yourself in it. So how does this benefit the community? 1, education and equity, curriculum-aligned programs offered in schools and public spaces. 2, creative participation, workshops use recycled and natural materials and engaging all ages. 3, heritage and identity, themes highlight pioneer stories and Atfalate history to celebrate our roots. And 4, community pride, displays and competitions can be hosted at historic A.T. Smith House, downtown Forest Grove, Pacific University, Grand Lodge, city parks, all kinds of different venues. Tourism and economy, these events drive visitors to Forest Grove, supporting small businesses and adding cultural vibrancy. Year-round engagement, winter workshops lead into the spring trail launches and creating ongoing momentum. And how does it align with Metro CEP and Forest Grove's 2040 vision? Revitalize downtown and public spaces with vibrant rotating displays, support small businesses and local artisans through partnerships, strengthen education and workforce development with youth leadership and opportunities, promote equity and sustainability through creative reuse and access for all, and build a lasting cultural tradition that blends history with imagination. We are requesting this grant for coordination and instructors, durable mobile displays, workshop supplies and materials, transportation, outreach, and insurance. Every dollar ties directly to community benefit. Beyond the grant, Trails Tales will sustain itself through booth rentals, merchandise, plants, mini gardens, and DIY kits sold at the events, creating a self-supporting, growing program for years to come. Trails Tales is more than miniature gardens. It's about protecting youth opportunities, strengthening cultural identity, and bringing people together through shared creativity. It directly advances Forest Grove's 2040 vision and meets Metro's Enhancement's goals by turning imagination into a community tradition. Thank you for your consideration, this opportunity to bring Trails Tales to life, where heritage and wonder grow side by side.
Great. Thank you, Evelyn. Any questions? I don't see any.
Thank you.
Well, I have one question I'll ask. Have you reached out to schools to see, like, is there a plan for
I have reached out to the school that's out. I forgot the new high school name.
Tualatin
I've reached
Plains,
out
yeah.
to them, and I've talked to the director there and a teacher there, and they're very excited about that because they, it's not just. What the vision is that it's not just for a year. It will be ongoing, and it wouldn't just be pioneers and people of our past. I'm looking at this as different cultures, fairy gardens, nature, the kind of thing that excites kids and that kids can get involved in and learn through play and learn through crafting.
Great. Thank you.
They were excited about it. So, and they asked, how we can get their teachers involved.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Adventures Without Limits. Evelyn, are those your glasses?
Hi.
Good evening.
My name is Annika Morkowski, and I'm a program coordinator with Adventures Without Limits. When I first moved to Forest Grove as a student at Pacific University, I was delighted with how many beautiful natural spaces were close by. I was lucky to complete a minor in outdoor recreation at Pacific. I took classes where I got to kayak and backpack and meet other students who enjoyed those activities as well. Through these classes, I was introduced to Adventures Without Limits and became an intern with them back in 2017, and that was my first outdoor job. For those who don't know, Adventures Without Limits is a local Forest Grove nonprofit whose mission is to reduce barriers to outdoor recreation for all. We provide day and multi-day programming, rafting, kayaking, snowshoeing, camping, to folks regardless of ability level, socioeconomic status, gender, ethnicity, or age. We offer community trips that anyone can sign up for, and we develop partnerships with organizations to run programs for their members as well. Adventures Without Limits has 30 years of experience providing inclusive outdoor adventures to Oregonians. Many people face barriers to enjoying outdoor spaces, even ones close to home. Barriers include transportation, access to gear, appropriate clothing for the environment, and knowledge about where to go. For folks with disabilities, there are even more barriers. Is there accessible trails? What are the bathrooms like? Is there ADA parking? And lots more. These barriers aren't just reducing access to outdoor spaces, it reduces access to the positive impacts one gains when spending time outside. Spending time outside has positive impacts on physical and mental health. Spending time outside with your community increases feelings of connection and belonging. With this project, Adventures Without Limits wants to continue breaking down barriers to accessing outdoor spaces for residents of Forest Grove. So all positive impacts of outdoor activities can be experienced by more residents.
Jesus.
Our project's goal is to expand the current offerings of the Forest Grove Parks and Recreation Activity Guide. With this grant, we can provide 15 programs throughout 2026, which adds activity opportunities for 180 more Forest Grove residents. These activities may include birding hikes, fall foliage kayaking, summer stargazing, winter wonderland snowshoeing. Our programs would be accessible and inclusive to provide outdoor recreation and access to natural spaces to as many folks as possible. AWL will provide transportation, gear, and trained guides to facilitate these activities. What is unique about partnering with Adventures Without Limits for the activity guide is the accessibility lens. Many municipalities offer adaptive activities separately from their general activities. In Forest Grove, they could be one and the same. These programs would be open to more residents, be folks with disabilities, families, individuals, and we continue to show how much Forest Grove values inclusivity and accessibility. These values have always been one of my favorite parts of Forest Grove. From the accessible playground at Anna and Abby's Yard to many organizations located in Forest Grove that support folks with disabilities, the Companion Program and CEP, for example. This program would be another way to provide inclusive opportunities for all Forest Grove residents. With your support, Adventures Without Limits will use their adaptive and accessible recreation background to increase the Forest Grove Parks and Recreation Activities Guide. Expanding the Forest Grove's activity guide will help boost local activity options for residents, create space for community building, and help residents connect with nature. With this grant, we can get more Forest Grove residents outdoors this next year. Thank you. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Are there any questions? I have one question and then we'll go to co-chair. How, I understand Adventures Without Limits, it's a great program. I'm just wondering, with this money, how would you hold some spaces for people of differing abilities, or like, how do we make sure it's like a unified activity?
That's a great question. One of our thoughts is currently to have some programming that's specifically for certain populations. So having ones that are tailored towards youth and families, or ones that are tailored towards seniors, or even like ones specifically for Spanish speakers, to try to get more diverse populations out in these programs, is one of those ways that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I did have a quick question. Thank you. So I read in your proposal, you mentioned that programming would be low cost. So I'm assuming there might be a small fee or something like that that people pay to participate. What is the fee? And then also kind of how does that income play into your project budget and how you use it to make the programming possible?
So the registration fee would vary depending on the trip type, just because different trips are going to cost different, like a kayaking trip versus a hiking trip are just different costs. And we don't have a specific amount that we would charge. We'd want to like collaborate with the Parks and Rec department to see what feels good on both sides to make sure that it isn't a barrier. I also know that the Parks and Rec department has the Fund for All for their programs, which can help reduce that barrier, even if it's a small cost, like you register for a hike and it's $10 and that's a cost barrier for someone. Hopefully that Fund for All fund can also be another way to make sure this is as accessible as possible. I think you had two parts to that question. Did that answer
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all.
Next up, Centro Cultural. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Mayor Wenzel, members of the council, members of the committee. My name is Mariana Enriquez. I serve as the Director of Development for Centro Cultural de Washington County. And it is an honor to be here today to share a little bit about the Forest Grove Senior Community Center and our hopes for the impact of the Community Enhancement Program grant. For more than 50 years, Centro has been a trusted anchor of community partnerships in Forest Grove and Cornelius and Hillsborough. The partnership between Centro and the City of Forest Grove at the Forest Grove Senior Community Center builds on this legacy of trust and commitment to collective prosperity through service to the elders in our community. The Forest Grove Senior Community Center exemplifies the power of collaboration that ensures access, dignity, and connection for our seniors. At the Forest Grove Senior Community Center, community members benefit from food access services, health services, community services, resources, workshops, and various recreation opportunities in a shared community space that they can call their own. These funds will be partially implemented for facilities and operations to help ensure that the doors can stay open and seniors in our community can continue to access the services that we provide. This means everything from keeping the lights and the heats on to keeping the facility staffed and ensuring that operations can continue. These funds will also support a green island rehabilitation that will include drought-resistant native and pollinator plants, because the bees and the hummingbirds are our neighbors too. And together, these investments will help make the Forest Grove Senior Community Center a vibrant, inclusive, and environmentally responsible hub for community life. 300 seniors benefit from the Forest Grove Senior Community Center today. Our community is richly diverse. Many are Latino, many are bilingual, many live on fixed income and face challenges with mobility and food access and housing. Through partnerships with organizations like Ride Connection and Meals on Wheels, and through our own bilingual staff, we ensure that every person who walks through our doors feels seen, feels welcomed, feels supported. Our commitment to the Forest Grove Senior Community Center is long-term. With your support and the support of others, we hope that the Forest Grove Senior Community Center will remain a place of life, of laughter, of connection for many, many years to come. On behalf of Centro Cultural, I would like to thank each and every one of you for considering this proposal. Together, we can keep the center thriving inside and out, and hope that every senior, every family, every visitor feels that the Forest Grove Senior Community Center was made for them. I will yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, go ahead, Council
Yes,
President Valenzuela.
how many seniors are you currently serving?
Currently, we serve about 300 seniors through the Forest Grove Senior Community Center, but we hope to expand those numbers with more outreach and being able to sustain the services we provide and hopefully scale them and provide additional services in the future.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just as a quick note to the council, it looks like the printer stapled the next two applications together, so you may need to split those up.
Okay. Thank you, Mariah. Next up, we have West Tualatin Habitat for Humanity.
Good evening. It's good to be here.
Hi.
I'm Steve Mann. I'm the relationship manager at West Tualatin Habitat for Humanity. And you may know us more for our building and repairing services in the city. But as we looked at this particular grant, it seemed like we wanted to look for a particular population within our city. And as we thought about who was nearest to us, we realized not only is our Forest Grove Restore really in the center of a number of densely populated centers in the city. One of those, of course, being the Rose Grove Mobile Park. And as we as an organization have been working more with manufactured homes, we realized after just a little bit of research that mobile home park, being a city within a city, has a particular vulnerability to some disasters that may happen. So disaster preparation, not really a sexy project. And I'm not an alarmist, really by any sense, but then again, my home is actually fastened to a foundation, as I believe probably all of you are here. But there, again, those approximately 1,000 residents in Rose Grove Mobile Park, they don't even have the option of anchoring their home to a foundation because it's just not there. It's not available. It's not required. And this is by no means any attempt to, dig up any dirt on the management of that place at all. But it's a nearby neighbor to us, and we thought this is a population that we can have an effect on. Again, in an earthquake, which everybody agrees eventually is going to be here. It's going to happen sometime. So in our viewpoint, this is the Rose Grove Park is probably one of the most vulnerable populations in our city for dealing with what would happen in the event of an earthquake. So I don't want to repeat too many of the things you already see before you that are already in the application, but as you may also well know, the emergency operation plan is currently being rewritten and worked on. And so we would like to work closely with other city agencies and the fire department particularly in what they see would be the most valuable use of resources that perhaps could be stored, stockpiled right there in this highly densely packed area of our city. Of course, they have 5 parts of their emergency operation plan: prevention, protection, mitigation, response, and recovery. So the mitigation, we would like to use some of these CEP funds for some bilingual education at the Rose Grove Mobile Home Park, teaching residents how to assess potential hazards in their own homes, and also how to assemble their own disaster kit supplies. And then the response portion of the emergency plan, activities necessary to save lives, protect property and the environment, and meet basic human needs after an incident has occurred. So that's where we would partner with the fire department and really lean upon their areas of expertise and have a storage supply of necessary disaster supplies are right there, right next door. We've got a large lot behind the store. There's no overhead power lines. There's no trees that can fall upon it. And so we thought this would be an excellent way to fulfill that one part of the 2040 vision plan on safety, which says we aspire to be a community where everyone feels secure, supported, and prepared, where public safety is a shared priority, health is nurtured, and we stand resilient in the face of emergencies, united in our care for one another. And we think this project would fulfill that. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple questions. Then I'll go. Okay. So my first question is there some, like, do you have a neighbor, like a friend that lives in Rose Grove or the property manager that's willing to work with you with education in their community? They have like a community room, community. Anyways.
We do have a good relationship with the park since we do a lot of repairs and they're right next door to us. So I did go over and talk to the management about this proposal, and they were willing to work with us and seemed excited to have something like this nearby.
I have another question. So then in the budget says disaster response supplies as recommended by Forest Grove Fire. Would you, within that outreach and education, be like giving some supplies to residents of Rose Grove?
We think that the education is how we would work with that. Trying to distribute, even basic emergency supply kits to 332 spaces might take a lot of the funds, and so we would be educating what are some first steps, some basic steps for each resident to be able to start putting together their own.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Are we out of time?
We're out of time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't realize
That's a good question.
And then next up is American Legion Washington Post 2. Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening, committee members. As most of you know, I'm Dale Thaler, and I'm the commander of the American Legion Post 2 here in Forest Grove. Post 2 is one of a consortium of local nonprofits, organizations, and individuals who meet regularly under the umbrella of the Forest Grove Veterans Action Network. The primary goals of the Veterans Action Network are twofold. Our primary is to establish a proper location for veterans, their troubled family members, and any curious, concerned, or grateful residents to visit, meet, gather, or attend a tranquil, serene, respectful, yet educational homage to the sacrifice and struggle of those who chose service to our nation through the armed forces. Our second goal is to ensure that every veteran in the Forest Grove, Washington County area knows every benefit that their service entitles them to and where to go to access and obtain those entitlements. The successful creation of the first gives us a tremendous opportunity to fulfill the second. I believe the closest thing we currently have to a Veterans Memorial is at the Community and Service Center with a flagpole, small marker with 5 service branch emblems, and a handful of engraved bricks. This does not fulfill our vision of a proper salute or tribute to the ramifications veterans and their family members encounter during their time in service and the aftermath that follows their military life. Over 300,000 have died from the use of Agent Orange in Vietnam. More than 60,000 are affected from the toxicity of burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. And our veteran suicide rate would empty an average Oregon classroom in less than a day and a half. There are many veteran memorials listed for the state of Oregon. We do not profess to add another slab of granite of local men and women who lost their lives in this country or that war. Our vision is not a memorial, but a tribute to those who can still walk and breathe following their service to our nation, can still feel the agony of wounds incurred, both physical and mental, and continue to suffer the thoughts, visions, and hauntings of what their country asks them to endure, many of which are unfathomable to the common citizen. It will show that their sacrifice, with its resultant torment and anguish, has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. It will have displays and QR codes that inform and educate both those in need and the curious seeking information. What that tribute would look like, or where it will be, I'm not sure. Much of that depends on long-term city parks planning, land use, environmental concerns, and of course, funding. That's why we're here tonight. If selected for this grant, the bulk of funds will go toward acquiring a basic concept for a City of Forest Grove Veterans Tribute Park, the primary location being the eastern triangular portion of Lincoln Park that runs along Sunset Drive. There are already street cutouts for a parking area. During a part of the year, the main area of Lincoln Park with its amenities is not accessible by foot from this area due to standing water. Our group is prepared to work with the city to plan, develop, and construct a year-round foot access that would connect all of Lincoln Park. Minor funding from this grant is expected to go toward this endeavor, but most of the manpower and material acquisitions are to be through donation and sweat equity. Our dream of a Veterans Tribute Park is a long-term project that will require far more funding than this grant, but we must begin somewhere. This is a first step that will allow us to go forward with a solid concept we can use to apply for federal and state funding, corporate donations, and a concrete plan forward. As I look at the 15 other applicants for these grants, I do not envy the task before you. Whatever your decision is tonight, the veteran community is here to support the greater community however we can. Thank you.
Dale. Questions? Councilor Schimmel, and then I have one.
Yeah, could you describe your conversations and support from our Parks and Rec director regarding the location?
We have met with your Parks director, and we are aware that they are beginning a major plan for the future. Hopefully, if we can get a concept going, then they will be able to better incorporate that into their master plan.
And Anne did tell us she would take that consultant to speak about.
And I know I'm going to try to respect time, but to follow up Councilor Schimmel's question, is your project, is this grant and this project contingent or on the location? Like, does it have to be that location in order for this project to be successful? Because I feel, I'm just going to be really honest, like, we don't know we can say that, right? And so I'm wondering if your conception plan that you need money to pay for can be used at a different location.
That location is an ideal location. However, it is not our only option.
Right. Thank you very much.
We need to have a design.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Meals on Wheels. Good evening. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello. My name is B. Davis, pronouns are she, her. I am the grants manager. Take off our hat. I'm the grants manager at Meals on Wheels People. We'll speak slow. So the mission of Meals on Wheels is to enrich the lives of seniors and assist them in maintaining independence by providing nutritious food, human connection, and social support. We also use our expertise and capacity to serve other nutritionally at-risk populations. We've been serving Portland Metro since 1970. In addition to the traditional home meal delivery, congregated dining, and social programs, which people are typically aware of when they think of Meals on Wheels people. We do so much more. We have a Meals for Kids program that's been in existence for more than 10 years. With that, we provide culturally responsive food boxes and raw foods to families with children, primarily BIPOC families in Portland. And then we also have a medically tailored meals program that we provide for patients of all ages who have been released from the hospital. And then all of the meals that we provide to all of our participants are also medically tailored. Through the Forest Grove Senior and Community Center, we serve older adults and caregivers. Many of the seniors we serve are low income, often homebound as well if they do not come to congregate. Our mission is about more than food. We offer wellness activities, social enrichment, empowerment, empowering participants to stay active, connected, and engaging. Social isolation is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So it is a very important thing to address, and that is why it's so intertwined into our mission. The volunteers that we have, they play a vital role in daily operations, as well as addressing those social isolation pieces, such as delivering their meals. Oftentimes, if you sub in on a route, people are like, where's so-and-so? Why are they okay? What are they doing? You don't know, and I just say they're in Disneyland. That's probably the answer. I have no idea. But the volunteers, along with our partners, are vital in the delivering of meals, leading group activities. Many of our volunteers visit all the centers around the Portland Metro to play music, lead dance classes. Line dancing has been a big thing as of late. And then they also help with the technology classes as well, helping people stay digitally connected as well, because phones can be scary if you don't know what you're doing. So, in Forest Grove specifically, about 62% of our participants are female, which is much higher than the national average and the average of our organization. This demographic, it's noteworthy, as though women often did historically earn less than men. So this is and tend to live longer, so they often require extended support. 19% of our congregate diners, so folks that go into the center to share a meal, identify as BIPOC. And this just once again highlights the needs for the service and addressing those systematic inequalities that we try to address. Our programs and our services are available to all older adults who are 60 years or older, and we have yet to institute a wait list for anyone seeking our support. We do not ask for money to enroll. If participants can and would like to contribute, as the grants person, I must say, we will gladly accept your contribution, but it is not a requirement. With this funding, we'll be able to continue to provide much needed and expected nutritional and social support to Forest Grove residents. Oh, that was pretty solid. Yes. Thank you.
Nicely done. Any questions? So if I'm following, there's the nutritional services and then the social. So how many people participate in both? Do most people do both?
Yes, it's because if you're doing home delivery, you're going to have a volunteer. We don't just leave the meal at the doorstep. We make sure if someone's home, someone is able to come and get it. So that's a little check-in, not official, but it is a bit of a check-in. And then congregate dining, we have the on-site enrichment activities. There's always something going on. And so they basically go hand in hand.
Thank you. Yeah, Counselor.
Is there a risk of an operations shortfall this coming year, particularly namely in Forest Grove?
No. As of now, we are very stable. We don't expect to close any more centers. Even though we have closed some centers, we are still serving those residents. In Forest Grove, that's not an issue, but if it's close enough that you may know about surrounding areas, we are still serving the same number of folks, just in a different manner.
Real quick, thank you. Where are the meals prepared? I didn't see that in the application.
At Central Kitchen, so that's our site in Southwest Portland, and then they are delivered to different centers and then distributed that way.
Thank you. Great. Thank you so much. Next up, the Forest Grove Elks Lodge. Thank you. Hello. Alice officially passed the baton to you ladies.
Okay. Hello, I am Heather and this is Danielle. We are also here with some of our volunteers and supporters. We are now the face of Forest Grove Backpack Program as we use this year for a smooth transition from the Elks Lodge running it to our own nonprofit. This program was started by Alice in 2014. She ran it through the end of last school year. She has done an amazing job, but it is time for her to focus on the health of her family and herself. She has left some large shoes to fill. What is the Forest Grove Backpack Program and what do? We assemble backpacks filled with food and snacks to students who suffer from food insecurities on the weekends. Our volunteers put in numerous hours to keep this program running. During a normal school week, on Monday and Tuesday, we gather donations, do grocery shopping, and stock our shelves, and then pick up empty bags from schools. On Wednesdays, we fill backpacks and deliver them to each school so the counselors can distribute them before the end of the week. Our school district is fortunate to provide free breakfast and lunch during the school week to all students regardless of their family's income. Now, as wonderful as that sounds, we have many students who may not have enough food to get through the weekend and in some cases may not have any food at all. That is where our program steps in and provides a backpack each week with nutritional food items to create balanced meals and snacks over the weekend when they are most vulnerable. No child should go to bed hungry or worry where their next meal will come from. Last school year, this program provided 4,694 weekend food bags. Those bags reached as many as 89 students, 189, thank you. 12 of them were McKinney-Vento or houseless, and 54 students identified as Hispanic. 154. We ended last school year providing 158 backpacks every week. Our desire is to help all of the children within our school district who need it. However, this year's beginning budget has fallen short of allowing that. Due to the limited budget, we have had to temporarily limit our program to only 100 students, including students with specific nutritional requirements. Our goal is to not turn any students away who may need help. We have spoken to school counselors who have already had to turn children away because we just don't have the means to provide for them. This was a very difficult decision that we have had to make. Last year, we had a community member suggest that we make an Amazon wish list for items that we regularly use. We have received so much support from our community. This school year alone, we have received $2,018.72 worth of items from that wish list. We have also received $205 through Venmo and numerous other food donations, all from everyday community members. We also have recently received a generous food donation from Gigi's House. Last year, we received donations from local churches and businesses, including TTM Technologies. We intend to continue working with those who have donated in the past, but also intend to create relationships with more businesses and supporters. We are in the process of filing for our own 501c3, and we believe that so many new doors will open to help this program once this is completed. As we stated before, we've had to temporarily limit our help to 100 students. The cost per month for 100 students on a normal nutritional diet is approximately $3,700. If our funding budget expanded, we would be able to open registration to help more students in need. We are hopeful to gain the support of the City Council in approving our grant application. It will make a difference in so many local children's lives.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilor Schimmel.
Just an acknowledgement. Thank you both for standing in on this program. And I notice Alice is in the room, and I just want to recognize her for standing up this program and serving so many vulnerable children for so many years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Schimmel. Yes. Any other questions? Thank you, ladies. Good job, Heather.
Thank you.
Okay, City Club of Forest Grove.
Good evening, mayors and council. I'm going to talk to you about the City Club of Forest Grove, which has just started their DBA of Downtown Association of Forest Grove. So forgive me if I pop back and forth, but if I say association, this is what I'm talking about. The Downtown Association is the contracted Main Street program provider for the city of Forest Grove. And one of the things that we hear often are that there's not a lot to do downtown. I like downtown. I spend a lot of time down there, but I think that there's a feeling that the community wants more activity down there, different shops. We have beautiful buildings. I think that the community is looking more for how can we invest as a whole. And that includes getting our community to come out to our downtown area. The Main Street program, which is the program we administer, is a partnership program and does not compete with the city, although there's some similarities on what each organization does. This program is an enhancement to the organizations already within our city. For instance, Adelante Mujeres, Pacific, the city, everybody has their specialty. And you get all of those groups together and they work on this program as the infrastructure for downtown revitalization. Gotta check my time. Does this program work? I know that there's been people that have asked that question. Many of them have never heard of the Main Street program. So just to give you a little bit of information on what we have been researching, and a lot of it I found out just last week. I was at a conference. But for instance, grants passed turned vacant buildings into very successful wine bars and restaurants. McMinnville has a Main Street program they've had for a while, and the revitalization downtown is very impressive. Dallas gained national recognition by putting their historic district on the map, and the revitalization awards and their recognitions for different cities, which are given out annually by Main Street program in Oregon. This brings them that national recognition so people can see this city's doing great. We want to visit there. And so it really does help those tourists come into your city. Within Oregon, the Main Street programs have generated more than $256 million in private investments, launched over 755 new businesses, and their average return of investment is $18 for every $1 invested. Will it work in Forest Grove? Just an explanation of a couple of the wins, or a little handful of the wins. Forest Grove had the highest participation seen during their Main Street assessment, which happens for every Main Street program that begins. Our Oregon Main Street group praised our ability as an organization to engage action from so many diverse people in our community. The number of people we had, they said, exceeded the other cities, and the inclusion of their community members to really give their input of what they're looking down for in the downtown. We also do feasibility studies, such as our Oktoberfest. We changed how we coordinated the event to see if it helped out the downtown shops during events to have everything moving down the center. I don't know if you guys were there last year. We have cross-sector participation, including businesses, building owners, residents, visitors, and officials. We take pride in continuing to grow our inclusivity during our events. We make sure to do particularly strong outreach to underserved by having people that are bilingual working at our merchant booths. We always have a place for people who are amputees, who are disabled, people who have loss of sight, people have developmentally disabled. We found a place for them during our events so that they can feel like they belong, because they do belong. We have partnerships including Pacific University, Gann Printing, and McMenamins. And businesses currently reach out to us to discuss placemaking, events, and searches for storefronts. Making this really quick to the end here. One of the big wins that we had recently was to negotiate a discount for all of our businesses in the downtown area, and that is actually an overachievement of a Main Street program that's only a year and a half in, is to be able to negotiate prices for an entire downtown district and all of their organizations. Do you have any questions? Sorry, that went over.
Any questions?
Can you clarify the discount? What was that for specifically?
Sure. The discount that we just received was 25% off of services from Oregon Sanitary. I can't remember what the company's name was. It's fairly new. It's basically a porta potty company that does various sanitation. So that's the first one. We're working on a couple others, though, including internet services.
Any other questions? I'm not seeing any. Okay, thank you. Okay, I want to do a check with the committee right now. We have 17 minutes until this meeting's supposed to end. And I'm wondering, I'm just going to be blunt and throw it out there. I'm wondering if we can engage in a 15-minute conversation, discussing some things, and then maybe bring back each committee member brings back our top 6 to a work session. We have a half an hour follow-up CEP meeting where we award the 4. I personally don't want to feel rushed to award 4 grants tonight in 15 minutes is what I'm getting to. So I'm wondering if we can discuss, ask questions, and then kind of process and come back to a follow-up CEP meeting that would take about a half an hour. How does the committee feel about that? Are you okay with that? You're really busy.
I would be open to it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, happy to support if everyone else feels that
Is that
time is
okay?
helpful.
Yeah, we can always do it virtual too, if that's
Okay,
easier.
yeah, great,
Okay.
of course.
Okay, so let's discuss. Any
May-
questions, comments? Go ahead.
Yeah, before we get started on that, I apologize so much for being late. I want to make sure I say hi, introduce myself to everyone. My name is Juan Carlos. I'm your Metro Councilor. Very proud to have the opportunity to co-chair this committee with the mayor and with the city council. I apologize for missing the July 14th meeting as well, which is where we designed the CEP criteria and all of those things. I was on paternity leave as I just became a dad, so that's pretty awesome. And I also want to take some time to just declare potential conflict of interest as well. Transparency is a core value for me as an elected official, as I know it is for everyone on this council. One of the applicants is my employer outside of Metro, and that's Centro Cultural. And I want to share that I did not work on this grant. I do not work in the division that would receive this grant if awarded, and receive no financial gain whatsoever from this proposal. So want to be very transparent about that. And back to you, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I also want to give a shout out to Councilor Gonzalez. He's also a Forest Grove High School graduate. So he's local, homegrown, serving our region. So thank you. Of
course.
I think, are there any questions, comments from the committee? I guess I would start having, Councilor Marshall, do you have a question or comment?
No, sorry.
No, okay. I'm just wondering, I thought there's a few applicants that I don't know. Like, so the Forest Grove Swim Club, I thought Councilor Schimmel brought up a good question about, is that a maintenance item and should that be funded from the city? I mean, you didn't say this, but can I just summarize it?
Before you do,
Yeah, you should summarize it.
I mean, the one thing I'm really cautious about suggesting that is when I used to be out in the crowd listening to the debate and questionings sometimes disqualifying an applicant, and that's in no way. I'm a super fan of the swim club. Those lanes need to be replaced, and I would much rather the city replace them or take responsibility so that it's not the obligation of the club.
And they're also requesting $4,800.
Yeah, I mean it's not
Yeah, it's $4,800, not $20,000. Yeah, and we have 4 $20,000 grants. Okay. So, Councilor Faulkner.
I realize I meant to disclose a potential conflict of interest earlier. My husband coaches football at Pacific University, but similar to others, he receives no benefit. We receive no benefit. He obviously does not have any affiliation with the student club who's organizing the Longhouse.
Yeah, do we want to unpack the swim club thing any more than?
No,
What do you mean?
Well, not unpack, but like in the past, and I don't want to like misspeak or misrepresent, but there was a point, I'm like showing my age of being on this council, that, CEP funds were like using for parks, like the signs at parks, right? And we decided that that was actually a cost that that's something the city should be, that's a maintenance or operational cost. And so therefore the city should be paying for it and it should not be part of the budget. So I'm just curious of some clarity on the lanes. Like, I mean, I'm going to be completely transparent. I am not a swimmer. I just went and watched my first water polo match and I was like, holy moly, these people are crazy athletes. But needless to say, like, I don't know what's part of, like, if that's an accessory to play a certain sport that would only be there because we had a swim club or a swim team, or if that is part of what every pool aquatic center has. You see what I'm saying? I don't know that.
Yeah, and I wish Director Lane was here to answer the question. The only thing I think I would add is that if the city has previously funded, whether it's an asset or a program or an operation, then it's not eligible for CEP funds. If the city has not previously funded it, then it is eligible for CEP funds. I don't know in this particular case what the city has or has not funded. I recall, according to the presenter, the city has bought 2, the club has bought 2, and I think Pacific University has bought 2. So it seems like it's been a shared resource. But I would have to check with Director Lane about specifically who was buying the lanes and who was not.
Okay, maybe we'll have more clarity at the next meeting.
Thanks, Jesse. I was just sharing with the mayor, I think that in the interest of time and recognizing that there are so many incredible applicants, we all did have our scorecard that we were filling out as we did this. We have $80,000 to allocate. And I think that between now and the next work sessions that's scheduled is perhaps what we can do is go by each member of the committee and read out our top 6 ranked applications. And then we kind of use that as a basis to winnow down the conversation for the future. So everyone has an opportunity to vocalize their ranking sheet.
Okay.
Would folks be comfortable with doing that?
Sure. I'm good with that.
Should we start down the line and work this way?
Yeah, let's start with Councilor Marshall.
Thanks, Councilor.
I'm going to go with Family Peace Center, Gigi's House, St. Vincent de Paul's, Adventures Without Limits, American Legion, and Forest Grove Elks.
And mine, Councilor Martinez, Gigi's House, St. Vincent de Paul, Friends of Forest Grove, West Quality, Habitat, American Legion, and the Elks.
Okay, thank you. Marissa?
My 6 are Pacific University, Family Peace Center, St. Vincent de Paul, American Legion, Meals on Wheels, and Forest Grove Elks.
Ready?
Yep.
I have Pacific University, Family Peace Center, Centro, West Quality Habitat, American Legion, Forest Grove Elks.
Wait, can you go a little slower? Sorry. Pacific University.
Family Peace.
Okay.
Centro.
I'm wondering if I missed.
Habitat.
Okay.
American Legion. Elks.
Got it. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, if we miss it, thankfully, the meeting's recorded, so we can always go back.
Yeah, like, oh gosh.
Thanks again to everyone that applied. My top 6, this is very hard, but my top 6 are Adelante Mujeres, Family Peace Center, St. Vincent de Paul, Adventures Without Limits, Centro Cultural, and the Forest Grove Elks.
Okay, I agree. This is like my least favorite thing to do. Everyone here is well, and I really like how all of you, like some of you work together with each other. There's lots of things. Okay, but I'm gonna go with Adelante, Pacific University, Family Peace Center, St. Vincent de Paul, American Legion, and Elks.
My six are Pacific University, Family Peace Center, Gigi's House, Habitat, American Legion, and Forest Grove Elk.
Are you ready for me?
Yeah.
My six are Pacific University, Family Peace Center, Foodways by Nana Cardoon, Centro Cultural, Meals on Wheels, and Forest Grove Elks Lodge.
All right. This was incredibly difficult. All right. So, Adelante Mujeres, Pacific University, Gigi's House, American Legion, Washington Post 2, Forest Grove Elks Lodge, and then I have a tie here, Centro Cultural, and both have the same. What do I do
You have
if
to
I
pick.
have two?
Sorry, you have to pick. I was like, we're all in the same deal,
All right,
dude.
well, Centro.
Sorry, Council
I
President.
wish we had more money.
Okay, and then Councilor Gustafson recused herself from the process.
I wish we had more money.
Okay, so Mariah, were you keeping track of our? No, I mean I could count them, but
I think the only one I missed was community member Marshall, Family Peace Center, Gigi's House, St. Vincent de Paul, and what was the one after that?
Adventures Without Limits, American Legion, and Elks.
I think I have everyone else's.
you think you what? You have everyone else's, so can you count them really quickly? For our top, if there's like clear top four, I think Elks is a clear top four. Family Peace Center. But I have a lot of checks and a lot of writing on my notes. Now I'm kind of confused. Like a little.
Yeah. We might actually come to a
Yeah, we
decision.
might actually have.
We might have a
before
decision before.
If we can, if she can tally, we might have it.
efficient grant making.
Just really bust up. I'd rather have one of them making the mistake.
More money.
Wait for you, Dale.
We're done.
Fake. Those are-
Mr. Feek's not used to sharing his seat with anyone else. What's up, Councilor Martinez?
My one question I have is, I know in prior years we've had discussion, and sometimes those places have changed.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a tie or. Do you have
Well,
discussion?
even
Do you have a
outside of-
discussion right now that you want to?
So only my concerns are some of the applicants, their costs are pretty high. And it's going to take from the amount that would really go out to the community.
Which ones are those?
Let's see. So especially the Family Peace Center, $14,000, Centro, $12,000, Meals on Wheels, $12,000 in contract and salaries. Adventure Without Limits, $17,900. Forest Grove Senior Bowling, it's $8,000. Those are people to help teach them, but then, I mean, maybe some of those others are. As long as they aren't administrative, that's my concern.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I stopped talking because I think for like me, the Family Peace Center, I think a lot of their money goes right back out into the public. And furthermore, it's like brutal for me for the last so many years to be literally the only municipality in Washington County that doesn't give some sort of funding towards the Family Peace Center, and they're opening a new building soon. They're expanding, and our residents do get services from Family Peace Center. So for me, like, I have to trust partners, I think, a little bit. So even if someone, if it goes to help an administrative position, and that administrator then helps 5 people, that then help 10 people, that then help 20 people, I have to trust that they are using it the most efficient way possible. I think that's just my take on that.
Well, that's also your third criteria measures is your assessment of their ability and stewardship. Right. That's my take on. I thought the past committee did a great job on the indicators. So if we're honoring those 3, then number 3 is where we assess their stewardship.
Appreciate that.
Jesse and Mariah, what's going on over there?
Do you want the top or just the order?
We want the top. Is there a clear top 4?
Why not yet? May I say something?
Of course, you may say something.
You know, my concern when doing all this is that, you know, benefits are being cut. And I just want to make sure that all the organizations that provide meals and that, you know, essential things like meals for kids and everyone, to be able to get funds. You know, there are other things like recreation, and yes, they are essential. But because of the times that we're going through right now, I think that food is one of the priorities that we need to consider. But the other thing as well is I think that a veterans memorial, it's long overdue in our town. You know, I go to Hillsborough and I see what they have in Cornelius, and it's not a huge thing, you know, but it's a dignified place, and I really think it's a long time overdue in this town.
I agree, and I feel the same way with the longhouse, like with Indigenous. I mean, that's and you even think too, like when you create spaces, and gathering spaces, like that's part of our 2040 plan, and it also is like the lasting impacts, right? Because it's also economic development. There's, you know, it's bringing people together. It's anyway. So I think I understand what you're saying too, because we are looking at a time period where federal programs are going to be cut. Nonprofits that provide essential services like food are going to be hit. So that's why there's 10 of us, and we just try to balance it, right? I mean, I think that's what I did with my top 4 is a balance of like trying to fill those things. Like look at all of, I don't know.
Would always be great to have more money for all these great causes, for sure.
Okay, what's
Jesse?
going on?
So I would just caveat this with these are preliminary results, but after Mariah and I kind of tallied up the totals, I'm going to list the organization and then how many essentially votes that they had or mentions that they had. Forest Grove Elks with 9. Excuse me. Yes, with 9. And then we had 2 in the next position, which was, hold on, sorry, I got to go to my notes. American Legion with 7, and the Family Peace Center with 7. The next one was also a tie with 5. And that was Pacific University and St. Vincent de Paul.
Okay, so really quickly, can you give me some guidance? Like it's 7:02 right now. Can we finish up this discussion in the next 10 minutes and then start our meeting late, or is that a no-go?
Yeah, if the committee would like to finish it up, you certainly can.
Yeah, I mean, would be great to have. I mean, I'm curious to hear how folks think. But
I heard the top 5 coming from Jesse, not.
Can you please repeat the top 5?
Yeah, so tied with 9 votes. No, one person with 9 votes, or one group is the Forest Grove Elks Lodge with the backpack program. Then tied, so that would be 1 grant, and then tied would be 7 would be Family Peace Center. and American Legion Washington Post 2, which would be like second and third. And then we only have one more grant, which would be fourth. And so I was thinking the top 5 would be fine. Because then the tied for 5 is Pacific University and St. Vincent de Paul. So I was thinking like we would just maybe vote between those two to get our fourth.
Yeah.
How does the committee feel about that?
Feels pretty rough.
It feels really rough. Do we want to have discussion before we vote on it? I think it comes down to, go ahead. Kelsey.
Maybe, I think folks should have an opportunity to like maybe make
their lead.
Explain their reasoning. I mean, I'm definitely torn on a lot of these because some of them do. I mean, especially the food-based programs. But like you, I was trying to balance, sort of impact in terms of, societal impact, what the needs are, but also it's important that this money be used to demonstrate as well. And so I was looking for projects and things that really demonstrate to the community with a direct connection and more threads than just one. And so that's why, that's why for me, the Longhouse comes out on top because it addresses obviously some real historical wrongs that are very long overdue. It also creates, like you said, a community space that benefits a lot. It speaks to so many elements of our 2040 plan. Anyway, I just wanted to, I was looking for a demonstration, projects that have sort of place, and that's why for me.
Anyone else want to share their rationale between? Go ahead.
I feel like I'm talking a lot here, so apologies. And thank you for listening. I'll offer a bit of a counter perspective to Councilor Falconer here. I mean, they're all great projects. Again, this is hard. I think when I look at the general scope of the projects, the Pacific University project is a $2.2 million capital project, which is just a major undertaking. They have multiple phases. They're entering phase 2. I mean, this $20,000 with relation to a $2.2 million project versus St. Vincent de Paul, which is resources that will immediately go to families right now that are struggling. Again, I feel like I'm splitting hairs here. I'm looking for a reason to vote for one. And if I find one, that is where I think I would find the reason to say Pacific University is an incredible project. I think it would be historic for Oregon. But when I look at the full scope and where this grant can make an impact, that's where I'm seeing the kind of the proportionality.
Go ahead, Councilor Martinez.
So I don't have anything to go with that, but my thought is that because I know I was trying to count and I missed some, and maybe if we all clearly mark ours and turn them in so that they can make sure that they have an accurate. Would that help?
We'll do.
Or do you feel like you had yours?
Are we in agreement with the top 3, and then are we in agreement with like between?
Oh, she's wanting to do a data check.
A data check.
Account or was accurately captured. That's what I understand.
Yeah,
that was my thought.
Are you okay?
Because they commented that it was a preliminary count that they had.
Yeah. So I think, thank you, Councilor Martinez. So it was preliminary, but I think I'm also hearing from the staff that you feel like you heard everyone's top 6 accurately. Would you confirm that that's correct?
Yeah, I think if there's anything I'm missing, it's any ones that were left that have just one vote. So I think I'm confident about our top numbers, and I've just double checked them as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be excellent to walk out of the meeting today with the organizations knowing they're going home with some funding. That to me feels like a priority. And to the mayor's point, we have 3 clear grants that have received 7 or more votes, and so we have a 4th grant slot that is a tie, and we essentially need to vote for a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
that's essentially the dynamic.
Yeah, and are there any other comments before we vote for that tiebreaker? Yeah. Okay.
I just have a quick question for the St. Vincent de Paul. Are there any requirements for our people, for the people to get assistance? Like, is there something that will disqualify them from getting that assistance? Like, I want to go where that money's going to.
Can we ask our applicant that question? Can we ask the applicant the question?
Yeah, if it's not otherwise stated in the application, absolutely.
Okay. Do you guys mind coming up?
I just want to know if there's something that disqualifies a family from getting any assistance.
They have to live in Forest Grove, which is the city of Forest Grove. We have to pay their utility and water, electric and water.
I know. Can you speak into the microphone so it's on the, sorry, we record it for, thank you.
They have to live in the city and receive City of Forest Grove utilities. It's the only utilities we help with. And they can't have received utilities from or any assistance from us for electric or water in the past year.
Any immigration status? That keeps
No,
them from
no,
qualifying?
no discrimination. We're whoever calls us.
Thank you. That's
Okay, great. Thank you. So both of these were in my top 6, right? So I think a lot of us were probably in the same way. And I think what both of you said is true. But I think if we're looking for immediate, like, I don't know. But anyways, I'm ready probably to vote. But Councilor Schimmel.
Well, just I'll maybe counter to my esteemed Metro Councilor.
Please, yeah, this is a great discussion.
Yeah, well, I've been affiliated with the St. Vincent program and believe wholeheartedly in ensuring like utility assistance. And there are other sources that I would like to see how we can help shore up the opportunity with the Pacific University. Despite the perceived poultry amount, I would liken it to say the rapid transit project where the city is providing a poultry amount to a $300 million project, and you needed our support in order to demonstrate the value that we're all in on this. And I think given that every council meeting we relay a land acknowledgement, to me that's not enough. That we have to demonstrate that we're willing to put some skin in the game. So that's the counter, that balance.
Great rebuttal.
It is now.
Welcomed with. That was good. Thank you.
Anyone
Again.
else? Because I'm now confused again.
Is there another one that we can, are there 5 that we can do?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
I wish. I wish. Okay, I think we're just going to have to vote. So we'll just go down the line and say the one we're voting for. And then, Jesse and Mariah, will you keep tally? You keep track? Okay, so we'll start on this time. Sorry, Council President.
What are we voting on? Between what?
Between, yeah, St. Vincent de Paul or Pacific University.
I'll start. St. Vincent de Paul.
Okay.
St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent de Paul.
Pacific.
St. Vincent de Paul. So hard.
I know.
It's really hard.
It is really hard. Oh my God. Can I pass? I'm going to take the chicken way out. I'm passing.
Pacific.
Can I pass?
No, I'll come
I
back.
think people have to
Okay,
start
I'll
passing.
say Pacific.
Oh my God. Okay.
I know.
The money will
Sucks.
go somewhere good.
Okay.
Okay. All right, St. Vincent.
What did you vote for?
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, okay.
St. Vincent for Councilor Valenzuela.
Give me a sec.
Is that everyone?
No.
Who didn't vote? Or who are you? Do you guys have?
She's
recused herself.
Oh, even with that? Okay, so that was it.
Yeah, I recused because I'm a city club board member. So I know it's not required, but I do when there's money involved.
It's 5-4, St. Vincent. I just counted it, right? I mean, hate to break it. Like, not trying to take your jobs away. Okay, so St. Vincent is the committee. I mean, it's a vote. St. Vincent de Paul with 5 votes. So our 4 grants award winners are Family Peace Center, St. Vincent de Paul, American Legion, Washington Post 2, and the Forest Grove Elks Lodge with their backpack program. Okay, congratulations. Thank you to everyone that applied. Thank you to everyone that applied. We're going to take a 5-minute recess and then reconvene for our city council meeting.